The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Maggie for Sieto. In the news tonight, Hartlip farmers at loggerheads over property entrance. Former MUN members and descendants embark on peaceful demonstration. Vaccination uptake continues at a snail's pace. Experience farm life within the city at Haven Zoological Park. And round up Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. Two families sharing farmland in the Hartlip region are at loggerheads over who can access the land through one particular gate. One of the farmers put up a gate to stop the neighbors from using a road that traverses through his land.
How are supposed these people to enter the farm?
They can't enter the farm, it's private property.
Now where is their farm?
Excuse me?
Where is their farm?
Which farm?
Yes. Swartwater. Their farm Swartwater.
They know where the farm is.
But is there any gate there that they can access?
No, they can't, it's private property.
The Swartwater farmers and their workers, according to a case report, now make use of a Trans-Namib service road which is off limits to the public out of fear of malicious damage and vandalism. There's an alternative route that the Works and Transport Ministry made available to the farmers. That route, however, has what they describe as a dangerous turnoff, roughly 5 kilometers outside Kalkrand in the Hardap region. The road traversing through Farm Fellis House has for decades been in use by the previous owners of Swartwater. The owner of Fellis House blocked access to that road after building a house allegedly meant for his foreman on a portion of the land. Swartwater farmers have attempted to negotiate with their neighbor to gain access to the road since 2015. Those efforts remain futile. On December 5th, 2021, the Swartwater owners staged a demonstration at the farm, demanding that the owner of Fellis House collect their petition. The Namibian police accompanied the disgruntled protesters and tried communicating with the neighbor, but he refused and referred them to his lawyer.
According to the Act, is that if you are on a blocked area, you need to have an access road through somebody else's land. Okay. So in this Act, it's like a court order because it's signed by the president. Yeah. So if it's signed by the president, it means that this is enforceable by the Namibian police. Yeah. And on our side is that if this is an act of parliament that is signed by the president as a document, a court document, then the police is supposed to say, look, here we have proof why we have to open this gate. Because these people cannot, if something happens, God forbid, that a train rolls over a few kilometers from here, then we are stuck here. Unless the government comes then and build a bridge across this farm for us to access. You understand? Yeah. So I believe that the police have the full right and guided by this act to go and say, look, we have to take off these locks because this is taking away the human right of the people living on a blocked earth. You understand? And that is why we want to know. There's a lot of people. We went to Stoffpan the other day. People decided that they must. It's not a friendly gesture that people are doing. It's because the act that is promulgated by the president states that if you lock that gate, you will deal with the police. Yeah, I understand that one. Because this is. But not the other part.
As a last resort, the matter, according to the Swartwater farm owners, will be handed over to the court.
Yes. For you to avoid the further trespassing and the malicious damage to properties, we just leave it the way it is, then we go to court. Yeah. With our act that we are regulating.
The Ministry of Works and Transport confirmed the incident and said that the owner of Frelis House did not follow the correct procedures. His actions are therefore illegal.
The blockage has never been authorized by the Ministry of Transport, of Works and Transport. It has never. So that blockage is unauthorized and it's illegal as far as we are concerned.
According to the Ministry of Works and Transport spokesperson Julius Ngweda, the owner of Frelis House should have written a proposal to the road board explaining why he wants to block the access path.
It was the silence that connected us all. But the journey started long before that day.
Coach has a gift to be able to spot talent a mile away.
I think the family kind of feeling makes the athletes feel like they want to perform for him.
This is a match made in heaven. We just become one. There was difficult times. I said to the girls, we didn't do all this just for one lump to take us off track. We started talking about this journey, and the way we actually painted that journey is almost perfectly the way it ended.
We thought that maybe one of them will make the finals. The both of them made the finals, then the rest is history.
Quiet broken by the firing of the gun, and they're off.
And here comes Christine Bommer in second place. Will they do it today? Oh, of course! 21-81.
This one belongs to us all as one.
It's time to sparkle at the Clit Summer Beauty Fair. Buy any 3 Nivea facial skincare products, cheapest one free. Buy any 3 Porsche N facial skincare products, cheapest one free. Or buy any 3 Himalaya facial skincare products, cheapest one free. And buy any 3 Aunt Jackie's hair care products, cheapest one free. Clits, feel good, pay less.
Former and current members of the Mine Workers Union of Namibia took to the streets to demonstrate against the representatives of the Mine Workers Union of Namibia, Namibia Mine Workers Investment Company and Namidvest.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
The group say they want their share of the money from NAMIC and NAMED, as they claim these investment groups were established by the former workers and those who were retrenched since 1997.
We don't accept to go buy shares in our own company. We have established with our money and with our sweat, this whole company was started. Now to get into getting something out, you must buy in again. Whereas we used our money to establish this thing in the beginning. In 1997, many of our members here, we were in the mines and we paid 1% of our salaries into this company. and that is what established NAMIC, that what established all the other companies that is there, and we are not satisfied that we have to buy in again with our own money a company that was established with our own money. So that is why we're here today, and that is why we're here to speak to the head office. We also at a further stage want to meet with all the directors of these companies, all these investment companies that is part of this NAMIC and NAMIT and all the rest. We want to meet with them and have a discussion.
They further say that they demand the immediate withdrawal of the NAMIT Vest project, which is currently influencing beneficiaries to purchase shares.
The beneficiaries call for the immediate withdrawal of NAMVET's projects currently going on, whereby MUN beneficiaries are being influenced to purchase shares. NAMIC shareholders to remain entirely under NAMIT. The NAMIT to embark on a nation exercise to solicit the views and the inputs of MUN beneficiaries. These are current and former mine workers and descendants on modalities of how the beneficiaries should accrue to the beneficiaries, as well as the financial statement of NAMIC and the subsidiaries, which the names are the directors and senior management. This must be done in the same manner NAMIT embarked on the NAMIT registration process.
The General Secretary Paulo Sitamba, upon receiving the petition, said that a date will be set early next year for committee members to sit and deliberate on the demands.
So immediately in January, when we convene our first meeting of the year, I will table your memorandum, then we will give the feedback accordingly through the relevant structures. So, but in between, feel free to visit the office. If we need any information, we will discuss it. Regarding the meeting that ex-members is asking, I think I must just answer it positive that we're going to engage, even though that not only my office as a General Secretary, but also other relevant officers that need to intervene with your office, more especially the trustees office, the chairperson, which is the president of the Mine Workers Union, president, which is the chairperson of the trust. So thank you very much.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
As of the 13th of December 2021, the Ministry of Health and Social Services has registered a 10% vaccination uptake, bringing the country 21.8% closer to the targeted 60% to reach herd immunity by March 2022. The Health Ministry at the country's 38th COVID-19 update revealed that so far 388,719 Namibians have received their first dose and 327,532 have been fully vaccinated.
The Health Ministry further encouraged for more vaccinations, despite recording cases of breakthrough infections, attributing breakthrough infections to factors such as poor health, medication, age, and viral variants that escape immune detection, further stressing that vaccines are not a cure, but to provide strong protection against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. The administration of third doses has also been set in motion, with over 600 people so far having received the Sinopharm third doses. Vaccine eligibility has also been extended to children between the ages of 12 to 17 years, with 235 vaccine doses administered for the aforementioned age groups as of the 13th December 2021. The head of state encouraged booster doses to avoid vaccine wastage, further cautioning Namibians to exercise individual responsibility ahead of the festive season as many embark on their holiday destinations.
This Christmas Christmas. Shop at the furniture store that promises you the lowest prices and lowest installments every day. Guarantees you free delivery if you find a lower price on any item and brings you amazing deals. Like this Restonic 152 centimeter Earth Zone base set. Only 4,999. Save 3,000. And this 4-piece Trojan Lounge Suite. Just 13,999. Save 5,000. Only at OK Furniture.
Connect in style with O Smartphone, Namibia's most affordable 4G handset. Enjoy high-speed connectivity to music, videos, and social media. Experience life on the 4G fast lane when you swap your 2G or 3G SIM for a free 4G SIM. Get it all for only $4.99 Namibian dollars, and you can make the connection with MTC.
Situated in the southern suburb of Kleine Cooper, the Haven Zoological Park houses several species of animals. Apart from being known as a petting zoo, the park also serves as a multidisciplinary approach in the area of agri-tourism.
Agri-tourism can be defined as a form of commercial enterprise that links agricultural activities with tourism in order to attract visitors onto a farm, a ranch, or other agricultural business for the purposes of entertaining or educating the visitors and generating an income for the farm, ranch, or business owner. It has enormous potential to positively impact both the agricultural and tourism sector.
The Haven Zoological Park was established back in 2007 by Martin and Julie Wiese. The main reason why they opened the zoo was to educate the community of the public on animals and the wildlife.
According to the park manager, agri-tourism is very important to the agricultural sector as it raises awareness and exposure towards agriculture, adding that in that way it encourages people to also get started and be involved in agriculture. Philip also highlighted that agri-tourism can help to contribute to the GDP and the overall economy of the country.
Tourism is very important to the agriculture sector as it raises awareness and exposure towards agriculture. And in that way, it can encourage people to get involved and get started into agriculture. To the economy, agri-tourism can help to contribute to the GDP of the country.
Armand Berg, one of the park managers, encourages people to come visit the park as it offers an experience of farm life within the city.
We encourage the community to come and visit the zoo, since you can come and experience the agricultural life within the city.
Due to the negative impact that the COVID-19 pandemic is having on the park, it had to close down several times. The Haven Zoological Park is therefore calling out for assistance, support, or sponsorship from donors and the public at large.
Christmas. Shop at the furniture store that promises you the lowest prices and lowest installments every day. Guarantees you free delivery if you find a lower price on any item. And brings you amazing deals. Like this Restonic 152 centimeter Earth Zone base set. Only 4,999. Save 3,000. And this 4-piece Trojan Lounge Suite. Just 13,999. Save 5,000. Only at OK Furniture.
A girlfriend.
Definitely.
Whoa. Wow. Spin and win this summer. Use the My MTC app or dial *111# and you could win a brand new Toyota Starlet, Corolla Quest or Hilux. MTC, make the connection.
In other leading stories, businesses and trade promotion agencies from across Southern Africa were recognized at the inaugural Southern African Regional Exporters Awards 2021 held on 8th December in East London, South Africa. The hybrid virtual and physical event, which was under the theme celebrating the export excellence of Southern African brands, presented awards in 4 categories. The big winners for the night was Namibia's Plastic Packaging, who was crowned Regional Exporter of the Year, ahead of the first and second runners-up, Technical Systems Pty Ltd from South Africa and Far East Textiles Pty Ltd from Eswatini, respectively. These 3 firms were among 8 national finalists who beat other worthy contenders to emerge as the Exporter of the Year in their respective countries. The awards are part of a collaboration between the U.S. government through the United States Agency for International Development and the Eastern Cape Development Corporation. This partnership with the U.S. government has over the past 3 years assisted the Eastern Cape companies to utilize the opportunities that are presented by the African Growth and Opportunity Act. This includes providing firms with information on the requirements of trading with the United States, says the Eastern Cape Premier Oscar Mambuyane, speaking at the award ceremony in East London. The event seeks to incentivize and encourage export firms from the 8 participating countries of Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa and Zambia to explore innovative ways of improving their regional and global competitiveness. The award was focused on exports to the United States and South African markets, also awarded 3 supplementary business categories that offer virtual support to these firms to achieve export excellence despite market access challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic.
So we have worked to bring you the Christmas you deserve with the savings you need. Like Cool Peach slices or halves for only $26.99 and Brooks Oro Squash for just $29.99. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spa.
Every
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia sounds with the Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Joseph Shifeni is standing by for this evening's edition of Business on One.
Business on One is proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. I'm your host, Joseph Shifeni. The Namibia Financial Institution Supervisory Authority, NAMFISA, recently released a report that indicates that more Namibians have turned to cash loan operators to get by as the economy emerges from a recession. The Bank of Namibia says that they have taken note of the trend, adding that the situation of households getting further indebted is not good news for the economy. The NAMFISA report shows that the number of borrowers increased by 1.2% quarter-on-quarter and 10% year-on-year to reach 230,000 beneficiaries. The Bank of Namibia says the fact that many households have had to do with borrowing to make ends meet is a concern to the regulator.
Definitely, I know when the economy is going through a difficult pace, disposable income of household gets affected. And people will really start trying to explore where possibly they can get money to put bread on their table. I know loan sharks can really be quite expensive. It's the last thing that you really want to see for household to get further indebted when the economy is really going through this stage. If your disposable income is heavily depressed and you are pushing up your debt, definitely it's going to throw you underwater, and that will not really be good for household moving forward. So I fully agree that that is not a good news.
Wanguta was asked this question at the last monetary policy announcement just days before Namibians head into the festive season. He had this message to Namibians regarding the pandemic and economy.
We need to make sure that our economy is fully reintegrated again back into the global economy. And one way is for us as citizens to make sure that we put this virus under control. I have always said that when we were growing up, there were many viruses that were emerging. I remember that in high school or in primary school, the whole school will just be affected by pink eye or by measles. And people were vaccinated. So that's how most of the viruses globally, they are contained. Something similar to COVID has also happened in 1920, the Spanish flu. And the only way how it was contained is through vaccination. Fellow Namibians, we believe that we need to make a choice. And that choice should be a choice to help rebuild Namibia. A choice that will help to build our economy to be resilient. And that is a choice of making sure that a significant part of our people, those who can be vaccinated, to be vaccinated.
He also said Namibia can no longer afford another lockdown unless the situation goes from bad to worse.
Business on One was proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
Hi there, parents. Do you have primary school kids and want them to get extra quality supplementary lessons to up their grades? Then simply switch to One Africa TV's #LearnOn1, where your kids can get maths, English and science lessons every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. And thanks to Animators My Zone, these lessons are 100% Namibian. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
We know it's been a hard year, so we have worked to bring you the Christmas you deserve with the savings you need. Like all gold tomato sauce for only $25.99 and baked beans and tomato sauce for just $11.49. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spar.
Time now for Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. The bail hearing of fish rod accused Ricardo Gustavo continued in the Windhoek High Court, where Judge Herman Oosthuizen ruled that Gustavo be released on bail of 800,000 Namibia dollars. Kukuri says everyone is entitled to bail on merit. Peter says 800,000 Namibia dollars is nothing for him. Kana Power says all of them should be released as jail is not easy. Richard says it's a big disappointment. Napoleon says Oosthuizen is an enemy of progress. While Sean notes that it is the start of a slow death for the fish rod scandal. That is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast only on Today on One.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia Sounds with the Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
I only spin with warm tires. I don't drive with them. The road to zero starts with me.
I don't drink and drive. I'm going to take a taxi.
Where to? Safe to zero. Put on your seatbelt, say. Yeah. The road to zero starts with me.
Jaywalk and it might be your last walk. The road to zero begins with me.
Better late than never. The road to zero starts with me.
Namibia will conduct the 4th Population and Housing Census in August 2022. To find out more, tune into the television broadcast of the 5th Conversations with the NSA show on Tuesday the 21st of December at 8 p.m. and the repeat broadcast on Sunday the 26th of December at 7 p.m. The Population and Housing Census 2021. Play your part. Be counted.
Time now for today's sports update with Castro Ulumbu.
Welcome to Sports on One. I'm your host, Castro Ulumbu. The ongoing issues at the Namibia Football Association has seen members of the public and football enthusiasts call for either new leadership at the football house or for the leaders to resolve their ongoing disputes. Sports on One caught up with senior sports journalist Marco Ndlovu, who is pleading for higher football bodies to intervene and find a solution. Today on One Sports has more on this story. A battle of power has been the order of the day at the Namibia Football Association since the new leadership was voted into power about a year ago. Since then, the association has been in squabbles over different issues, such as the recently held Ordinary Congress, at which they dismantled its executive committee, including the president of the association. Senior sports journalist Marco Ndlovu, in an interview with Today on One Sports Desk, weighed in on a statement released by COSAFA and its president, stating that despite Ranga Haikali being ousted, he is still recognized as the NFA president.
When it comes to COSAFA, CAF and FIFA, those guys, they work in tandem. It's yin and yang. When the other one goes that direction, they all follow. Unless under extreme purposes. The current FIFA president came in at the back of the COSAFA, having managed to remove his challenger, was Issa Hayatou, from power at CAF. So now CAF, COSAFA, CAF and FIFA, it's the same sort of grouping, and they will agree on everything that they discuss. So it was natural it had to come. And remember, the current COSAFA president is on leave, sort of. Is it gardening leave or whatever leave it is? And he has indicated that he's not going to contest the upcoming election. So the Franz Mbidi, the former NFA president, is the acting COSAFA president. So somehow, it was bound to happen like this, because we know that Ranga Haikali has been nominated, and I wonder who nominated him, because maybe it's not Namibia that nominated him, maybe it's another country, but the COSAFA rules say that your own federation is also allowed to nominate you. So Ranga Haikali was nominated by somebody else other than the NFA. So that shows that even other NFA and other football associations outside Namibia, they support Ranga Haikali as president of NFA. Hence, they nominated him. So it also puts the NFA in a position. But Namibia will be represented by the president and the secretary general. I don't know if they will sit on the same table or they will understand each other. It's for COSAFA to decide.
Moreover, recent visits from higher football governing bodies to address the issues remain unresolved. Ndlovu further criticized the higher football governing bodies for failing to come up with a solution.
The solution has always been simple for me. People need to sit down and be honest with each other and sort of have everything in order. By everything, I mean starting with the Constitution. The Constitution of the Namibia Football Association is the one that is causing all these problems. It's not clear, it's not straightforward. You don't know where the power sits. Does it sit with the executive? Is it the members? Is it the SG? Or is it the president? Understand? Because everybody interprets it differently. And secondly, FIFA and CAF have not been very decisive with Namibia. They need to be decisive. They need to come and say, we want this. Their action plan or their roadmap or whatever plan they bring should be decisive to say, we want A, B, C, D. At this point in time, it's not clear. Look, they stopped an extraordinary Congress, but they allowed a normal Congress to proceed. Because they were not clear, they should have told the NFA that don't do anything, absolutely anything. Just be on autopilot until we come back. And we are still waiting for them. It's 2 weeks after they have not come back, which means they are not decisive. We also need to be decisive as Namibians. The solutions mostly are homegrown. We need to sit down together, talk to each other, and be frank and honest with each other. The people that we are bringing to run football in this country, do they have the interest of football at heart, or they have the interest of their bellies and their pockets at heart? Because at this point in time, if you look at it, the people who are supposed to benefit from football are not benefiting. But it's people who I personally think should not be benefiting that are benefiting. Football is not being paid in the country, but there are people who have been getting their salaries every month, and you ask yourself how. Because you are there because of these guys, but these guys are not getting what they're supposed to get, but you continue living life normally. How fair is that?
The NFA announced that they will host an extraordinary Congress on the 18th of December 2021. And that is all we had for you tonight. Join us again tomorrow for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thanks a lot, Castro, for the latest in sports. Let's have a look at the weather forecast.
Now a look at the weather forecast, but first an advisory from the Windhoek Met office. Heavy falls are most likely in the Zambezi, Kavango, eastern parts of the Ashila-Jupa and Omaheke regions tomorrow and over the weekends. The interior will be partly cloudy and hot in the west and the Karas region. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and hot to very hot with a few thunder showers, but isolated to scattered thunder showers in the Zambezi, Kavango, eastern parts of Ashila-Jupa and Omaheke regions. The coast will be partly cloudy and cool to mild with fog patches in the north and central coast, and wind will be moderate northwesterly to southwesterly.
That is all we have for you. You can join us again for a repeat at 9:30 and 6 a.m. and the Omnibus on Saturdays from 9 to 2. From me, Maggie Forciero, and the rest of the team. Till next time, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUL for life. We are IUL.
I like rhinos. I like them very much. Future here in this area is depending on the tourism. The future generation, they can see and they can benefit from their own resources. Animals like rhinos, elephants, the big five, you benefit from them and it must be respected. You are not feeding the rhinos, you are not giving them order, so it's a free business.
I don't know, cut it off.
I think two of my sons, which was little bit 5 years old, they were young guys. So they asked me questions. Why are we here? Why are we sleeping here? I told them this is our resources and this is our future. My first memory of going with my dad is that I learned new things. As I grow up as a man, I see an opportunity in it. So I decided to look for a job pertaining to tourism. So that's when I was employed at Palamba. So I decided to go for tour guide studies, because I grew up with the tourism industry, the wildlife, the rhinos and everything, to bring that experience to the tourists. You can see the hyena. The biggest changes, I was employed, getting paid, and also I can now support my family.
It's a cultural thing. It's coming a long way. Even if you go to area like Tweefontein, area was a lot of paintings. You will see rhino engravings on the rocks. That is an indication that the interaction between human, especially the local communities, and wildlife is dating back. That intimacy relationship is coming for a long time.
We are right here now at Palamba, and Palamba is one of the big lodges in the heart of the desert. And as you can see there is Jumbo standing behind me, which shows it's really a tourist area. We do have elephants, lions, but as you can see, the desert is the heart of the rhinos. This is the main breeding area of the rhinos, is what we found here in this desert.
It's the largest free-roaming population of black rhinos that you find outside national parks in the world. It's a population that communities in the northwest have taken responsibility themselves in managing this population with the structures that government has put in place, more specifically the establishment of conservancies.
These people, before independence, they took it upon themselves and decided that wildlife is our heritage, and through history we've been living with wildlife. And having wildlife in your area is like having a garden.
Because of all these animals, we've got the communities that benefit from all this wildlife, and it's like a triangle that fits into each other. And the communities looked after the wildlife doing their own thing, and the communities benefit.
So already there were this intergenerational relationship between mankind and wildlife, and that bond is what our people actually wanted to see it continuing.
Very few countries have the wildlife that Namibia has. What is also important is the policies that Namibia has put in place, which also involves communities to be engaged in the management of the wildlife species and also to benefit from the wildlife resources.
Turn conservation into a rural economy, turn conservation into endless opportunities that would actually cater for those young people that have nothing else to do.
If it was not for rhino economy and tourism in this area, it was really difficult for young people to get or find a job.
We are conservation engineers. We make conservation work in an unfenced area, and through that, we want to turn the wildlife into the rural economy that will benefit the rural communities.
So we can see now wildlife is doing very well, the lodges are doing well, and the community is also benefiting. So it takes all three together.
Devastating hit over coronavirus fears. Airline industry is facing its biggest threat to travel since 9/11.
Since March, when COVID-19 hit Namibia, things actually become very difficult. In the first place, all the lodges closed down because of COVID-19. With us, say the Rhino Trust, we had some donors cutting on their funding. And then we had, in the same time, a poaching case of 2 rhinos that was poached. We had less boots on the ground, and poachers could actually see. Now each of changed to go in and do something. So COVID-19 was tough on all of us. Ginger Morning, who is one of our trustees, actually came up with the idea of, why don't we ask you to go to buy some gold for us and make gold bars, and then we sell them for rhino conservation.
I was fortunate enough to have a chance to have lunch with Clive Johnson, the CEO of B2Gold in Vancouver, Canada. And I looked at Clive and I said, we've got rhinos, you've got gold, let's do something. Let's create a coin or a medallion or a bar using your resource to create a sustainable source of funding for rhino conservation for the future.
There was it. The gold was bought, the bars was made, and I think it was 31st of January that we launched the bars in Windhoek. And suddenly one morning I had an email from my office, from my finance person saying, these people don't have salaries. So I said, oh, what now? So I picked up my phone and I phoned Mark Daw. I said, Mark, I've got this problem. He said, but when we've got a fund already ready for you, you just have to apply, put a proposal in.
1,000 ounces of gold can make an enormous difference to the livelihoods of the communities that live up there. We are, in essence, providing income and providing a livelihood to the communities. In the absence of tourism, especially now with COVID-19, even prior to that, when we had such a bad drought, the communities became even more dependent on the natural economy.
The idea is to make this a fund that will last for the next 25, 30 years, or even longer. And a portion of that will be distributed immediately as needed. And in this case, the COVID-19 crisis necessitated us to distribute funds to pay salaries to help people in the field.
The proceeds of the sales from the gold bars will be going towards responsible NGOs. And we've identified Save the Rhino Trust as the key NGO. And IRDNC, one of the first organizations that was in the Northwest, Integrated Rural Development and Nature Conservation, so that ultimately the funds go to the communities and various aspects of their war on poaching.
To be able to support those hardworking men and women that are always in the front line between the poachers and the rhinos.
If it was not for B2Gold and the golden bars, I think by now we should have been in big trouble.
By extracting the gold, you reinvest it in other renewable resources.
The gold that's coming out from the ground is actually protecting the wildlife that's working on the ground, which is a very good symbol for the others.
I wish this was my bar. This is the 500 gram gold bar. So you'll see on this side you've got the Etindeka Mountains and you've got the mother rhino with her calf. And then on the reverse side, we've got the serial number, you've got the Rand refinery stamp, which is very important. Anywhere in the world, people will recognize the stamp and they will know that this bar contains 99.99% gold.
It is gorgeous.
We wanted to make a biggest contribution. And at Ballowwood, we see that as a way of giving back to the community.
Okay, so there you'll see the 500 gram bar.
Very special.
Feel the weight. It's incredible.
This opportunity which presented itself is absolutely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We're privileged to have this.
This is just absolutely gorgeous, and I think this showcase really what the project is all about.
It's from 24-karat Namibian gold.
I'm looking at these rhinos is put there like Miss World photogenic, I would say.
There are only 1,000 of these gold bars, rhino gold bars, in circulation.
As far as I'm aware, it's the largest single donation of any corporate to the conservation of biodiversity anywhere in Africa.
Therefore, we so much appreciate and would want to continue as a government to work with B2Gold.
And the fact that it's happening here in Namibia is something that we can all be extremely proud about and very grateful to B2Gold.
Thanks to having this literal pot of gold through the funding for the Rhino Gold Bar, we're able to step in now and make sure that those trackers are supported, and so are their families and their communities.
We make sure that people sustain their jobs going forward, and who doesn't want gold?
And the B2Gold Rhino Gold Bar has come in at a really critical time now, particularly with tourism being closed off and those forms of revenue not coming in.
To say we have the biggest rhino population or black rhino population in the world, let it be for the rest of our lives. And it's that heritage that we have It's our resource that we can all look after and protect.
It's our heritage. And it's also good that other people like Peter Gold are also seeing it that way.
It's actually a very nice link between the investor that buys this gold bar, the rhino tracker in the northwest of Namibia, and the black rhinos. It's an intergenerational thing. The rhino trackers teach their children how to track rhinos, their children get taught, and so it flows down.
This is something that I want my children to have, and that we leave a little bit of a B2 Gold legacy. And if I can be part of that as part of my family, I'd be very proud.
It can also become an inheritance for the generations of my own clan. My children, my grandchildren.
If we can bring that passion over to future generations and to hand that over to my children, and I hope that that same passion for conservation gets migrated over to my kids.
And what we've done together is create a sustainable source of funding that should outlive all of us.
You know, I think as far as Peter Gold's concerned, we couldn't have chosen a better target in which to put our efforts as far as the environmental and conservation pillar is concerned. And I want to stress there that the money that's going towards environment and conservation is actually going towards the people.
Rhino is for all of us, whether you are in Canada, whether you are in Vancouver, whether you are in the US. If you really want to see conservation at play with rural communities, I therefore humbly request each and everyone to join us on our Rhino tour and have a wonderful experience. This is what keeps rhinos on this planet.
I've done rhino trekking experience. It was just amazing walking in that landscape of the Kunene. And as we followed them, we could now find rhinos with the calf. We got the closest distance we could.
It's a warning sign.
And it was just amazing and lovely, something to experience that Namibia can offer. It's something that you have to do in your life.
Just believe in me.